In the realm of mechanics, the saying holds true that every bolt and nut has its rightful place. This reflects not only the organization necessary for efficiency, but also the deep understanding mechanic possesses in their craft. Each component serves a purpose. Knowing where they belong ensures smooth operation. A meticulously arranged workspace leads to mastery as each piece plays its role in the symphony of machinery. Welcome back to One by One. This is where we show and we see how and what holds us together in this life, what keeps us moving forward, and how understanding the little things can make all the difference in our lives. I'm your podcast host, Robert Murigi, and today we are going to explore further on this proverb and see what it means exactly. And on this simple analogy and yet powerful, that every nut and bolt has its place and every mechanic knows where they belong, it's not just about the hardware, it is about the purpose, order, and knowing where you fit in the bigger picture. But let us look at the meaning behind this saying. And when we talk about the toolboxes we have in our workshops, it is filled with countless bolts and nuts and all the types of screws. But even with all these different sizes and shapes, and the purposes are all different in each of them. A good mechanic doesn't just grab any of them and hopes it fits, but what we normally do is that we know exactly which one fits where. And when we look at this thing on the life perspective, where we have the different roles in our lives and skills, and where we normally work in different places, when we understand where we belong, where our career, relationship, and other things belong, we function more smoothly. And that is the essence of saying order, purpose, and understanding. But how do we know our place in this life? When you try to assemble that engine and it has so many different parts and it is complex in its own way, and you're trying to force parts to go in a different spot rather than where they belong, this can cause frustration and this can cause burnout, especially when this happens in our lives. When you know exactly where each part goes and where each and every bolt and nut goes, this can contribute more constructively towards building this particular engine. And this you find that there is more fulfillment, and it's all about recognizing your strength, your passion, and also your boundaries. Think about yourself as a bolt, and some of them are long and others are strong and others are short, but they all serve different purposes in fitting and also securing these parts in this engine. When you find the right fit for it, when you find your place, you help hold the whole structure together in a more beautiful way. But let us look at how do you know which bolts fits where? How do you know which nuts fits where? How do you know that there is a particular thing that is not right in your life and you need to stop it or you need to change it at a particular time in your life? When a mechanic spends years learning how to do things and which bolts fits where and which one does not go in the right place, they memorize which bolts goes in the right place and how you tighten them to the right torque. But what happens when they don't know the best material for each part? That expertise comes from experience, attention to details, and understanding the bigger picture in the whole equation. And this also happens in our lives when we try to find our place. Sometimes we have to learn about ourselves. We have to check our strengths and our weaknesses and our skills, our values, and also the goals that you have set in your life. But sometimes it takes trial and error, just trying different bolts and different spots until you get it right in your life. And one of my friend Josh mentioned that he thought that his problem was he needed to do everything in his life. But once he realized his strength, that it was in problem solving, his life became more fulfilled and he became more happier in each and everything he did. And therefore, when you want to find your place, there are a few things that you can do to yourself or you can do in your life so that it can help you to elevate the situations that you are in or help you move forward to the better position in your life. And the first thing that you can do very well is self-assessment. When you reflect on what is good and what is not good in you and what makes you a better person, you are able to put more effort in that particular area in your life. The other thing we can do very well in our life is to be patient. Just like assembling a complex engine, finding your place takes time. And the other thing we can do also is to do the experiment. We don't fear to experiment things and new roles in our life or new projects that where we can fit best. And the last thing that we can do very well is to seek feedback from our friends. Let us also consult with the people who have done it in the past and our mentors and our trusted families for us to become the best version of ourselves. As we all know that an engine has different parts and they all serve different purposes, this can help us also to embrace our unique fit in our lives, and also finding that we have different lengths of bolts and nuts and all different sizes, and they also use different torque specification for them to hold in place in the right way. And therefore, the beauty of this life is in its diversity, where each and everyone finds a place and embraces the right place, and the entire structure becomes strong and more resilient. And therefore, we find our purpose, and we know that whether we are small screws or those big screws anchoring the foundation, we all have a purpose in this life, and we all play a crucial role in making this life better in ourselves. And that's it for today from One by One, from this episode of Nuts and Bolts. I hope that you find some inspiration from this idea of bolts and nuts, so that you don't forget to browse your own life and become the best version of yourself. Remember, understanding where you belong is the first step towards building a solid and meaningful life. Thank you for tuning to One by One. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, share with your friends, and leave us a review. And until next time, keep building, keep striving, and keep reaching for your dreams. Bado nataka kutoa. I think it's better.